Hola, mi amigos, and welcome to the inevitable sequel to Mabbers in Morocco. It's time for a new series here on my channel. I'm calling this Mabbers in Mexico. Enjoy! Welcome to the place that will be our home for the next 11 nights, the Grand Rivera Princess Hotel. This is a 5-star, all-inclusive hotel situated in Playa del Carmen, and it's actually 2 hotels in one, Grand Riviera and Grand Sunset. And you can actually use the facilities in both hotels. As a result, the resort is absolutely huge. It is actually half a mile from the main lobby to the beach. So if you are an older person, or a person that's probably not as ably bodied coming to this hotel, then do be prepared to do a lot of walking. Having said that, if you do need to borrow a wheelchair from the hotel, those can be provided, and there are also golf carts being driven around the resort on a regular basis that can pick you up and take you to your destination. The hotel has a number of lounge and pool areas. We never had a problem getting a seat or a sun lounger at any of these, and they are great places for you to spend a number of relaxing hours at. The local beach was one of the areas where we spent a good portion of our time. There's palm trees, beautiful white sand, there's the lovely warm Caribbean Sea to swim in, and there's also a beach bar and a snack bar located there as well. You can go play beach volleyball, go jet skiing, or simply just lay back on a sun lounger and read a book. Do as little or as much as you want here. This was sheer paradise, and this has to rank as one of the best beaches I've ever been on. If not one of the best, then perhaps the best. As mentioned earlier, this is an all-inclusive hotel with a number of sizable dining areas for breakfast, lunch and dinner. There was always a lot to choose from at the buffets, regardless of the time of the day, with a wide selection of hams, cheeses, salad, fruit, plenty of bread, and a large dessert section for those of you with a sweet tooth. And don't worry about vegetarians, because you were well catered for as well. If you were at the pool or on the beach though, you could hit the beach bar for burger and fries, or go to the poolside taco stand for an afternoon snack. For the evening meals, there were several themed nights throughout the week, such as Spanish night, where there was a choice of several different delicious paellas, or Oriental night with a selection of sushi. The hotel also has a number of separate a la carte restaurants on site that you can book a table at during your stay. We didn't eat at all of these, but you are getting quite a varied choice across a number of different cuisines from all around the world. These included restaurants for French, Italian and steakhouse. We ended up eating at the Mexican restaurant one evening, which was very enjoyable. However, I think our personal favourite was the teppanyaki and Thai restaurant, where the chefs will put on a bit of a show whilst they're cooking your food in front of you. And once you have finished your evening meal, you can enjoy a few drinks and watch the live entertainment that the hotel puts on every night, such as these exotic fire dancers. There is a sports bar at the hotel called Fifth Avenue, which is open 24 hours a day. It's a great place to go for drinks, something to eat, and to have a few games of pool. The bar is decorated with numerous pieces of sporting memorabilia such as photos, helmets, trophies, equipment, etc. The hotel is teeming with wildlife too. Oh sure, there are cats living at the hotel who are the resident rat catchers, that's to be expected. But here it's not unusual to also come across wild deer on the hotel grounds, along with monkeys, iguanas and numerous exotic birds. Our favourite though were these little guys. These are coates, which are essentially a type of Mexican raccoon. These guys were little characters, and it was a joy to see them around the grounds of the hotel. They are very clever animals and very cheeky too. Now you might think that when you see one of these coates and they're looking at you with their big brown eyes, you think, oh, you know what, I'll give them one of my chips. I mean, what harm could it do? One chip, one coate, it'll be fine. What you have to bear in mind though is that one coate that you give that one chip to will come back later on and he'll have brought about 40 of his mates with him. So yeah, I know it's tempting, but don't feed the animals you come across. Seriously. So as you have probably gathered, this was a wonderful hotel to stay in and it comes highly recommended from us. However, when we come on holiday, we do not want to necessarily spend all week laying about and drinking in the bars or on the beach, and luckily the hotel caters for this as well and puts on a regular shuttle bus to Fifth Avenue in Playa del Carmen for those wanting to get out and about for a day of sightseeing and shopping. Today we are making a visit to Xcaret, Mexico. This is a water theme park and zoo, but it's unlike any other you have ever seen, and it's a complete celebration of the beauty, culture and history of Mexico. During your time at Xcaret, you will have the experience of swimming in cenotes, relaxing on the beach, going through the jungle and seeing lots of exotic animals like spider monkeys, tapirs and big jungle cats, as well as exotic, colourful birds such as scarlet macaws, toucans, golden eagles and lovebirds. Xcaret has even won 2 Guinness World Record titles for having the most macaws born in captivity, and we actually got to see some of the babies whilst walking through the bird sanctuary. So first up we have the Sea Trek, and this will have you donning a deep sea diver's helmet and going for a walk along the bottom of the river. You'll get the chance to be up close and personal with lots of different fish and stingrays, even game within touching distance. There's a handrail for you to hold on to as you make your walk, and there's numerous members of staff down there to help you if you want to get out before the end of the walk or if you experience any difficulties, and of course to take photos as well. This was absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I didn't want to leave. I did not want to leave. I could have easily have spent twice as much time down there as I did. Then there's the river trail, which will give you the chance to swim through one of 3 different crystalline rivers below the grounds of Xcaret. You can actually find yourself passing through a number of different environments, caves, through buildings, along mangroves and through the jungle. Once out of the river and dried off, we made our way through the Mayan village route, where we came across not just the exotic birds and animals that I mentioned earlier, but also these ancient Mayan ruins and these beautiful churches and cemeteries. There's a little village that really takes you back in time. As we made our way to the final stop of the day, Espectacular evening show, the trail there was lined with Mayan warriors appearing out of the trees and temples, performing music and dances, and providing some unique photo opportunities before you even got to the show and took your seats. The Mayan warriors kicked off the show with a couple of the ancient ball games that they played. The first one was called Juego de Pelote, almost like basketball really, but without the use of their hands. Instead, the ball would need to be hit with the hips, with the elbows, with the head, with the feet, to try and get the ball through these little stone hoops. This was then followed by another ancient Mayan game that resembled what hockey would eventually become, only this game was played with a bit of a twist. The ball is actually on fire. Yeah. From there, the show went on to a beautiful celebration of the history and culture of Mexico, with lots of traditional dances, singing and performances. I recorded a few bits and pieces here and there. I didn't want to film too much because, number one, I wanted to sit down and enjoy the show, and number two, I didn't want to sort of risk getting a copyright strike on this video. So I will just pop in little bits and pieces here and there, but we definitely recommend you to watch the show for yourself because it really does live up to the name, Espectacular. Yeah, the name says it all. If you come to Xcaret for the day, but you leave before the evening show, then sorry, but you really are missing out. The audience absolutely loved it. People openly clapped, cheered, and even wept with pride. I'm not even Mexican, as you've probably noticed. I'm English. But even I found myself becoming a little overwhelmed with emotion at times. It really does highlight just how proud that people from Mexico are of their country and their heritage and their culture. We absolutely love this place and consider it to be one of the highlights of the holiday. We spent all day there and I feel like we didn't see everything. I feel like a return trip will have to be made at some point in the future. This is the best place to visit if you want to experience all of the different sides to Mexico, with water parks, sea treks, river trails, animal enclosures, traditional Mayan demonstrations, and the amazing Xcaret show. At the end of the day, this trip really is a must-do. Don't let the cost put you off. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but it's definitely worth it, and you will not be disappointed. This balances together nature, adventure, history, and culture into one great place. Highly, highly recommended. Deep within the heart of the Yucatan jungle, shrouded in myth and legend, lies an ancient city that has captivated the imaginations of adventurers for centuries, rivaling the likes of the Great Wall of China and other famous worldwide monuments. As one of the new 7 wonders of the world, this site draws visitors from all over the world to marvel at its majesty. Today, we will travel through these ancient ruins and step back in time to the ancient world of the Mayans. Welcome to Chichen Itza. But first, on our tour, we are stopping at Selva Maya. These are beautiful gardens to walk through, and there's a number of restaurants and bars here in case you decide to stop for lunch or just have a few drinks. There's also a number of shops located on site selling tequila and other craft goods. But the main reason to come here is for the cenote that they have. It's not a cenote with a long underground route to swim through like the cenotes we were swimming through in Xcaret in our previous video, but this one is a lot deeper. A lot deeper. If you're going to be taking your phone with you, then you are really going to need one of those waterproof cases with a neckband or a wristband to keep you from losing it. I mean, dropping your phone into the sea whilst you're on the beach is bad enough, but drop your phone here and it's going to be sinking about 120 metres deep. So yeah, good luck with retrieving that. The site has a well-attended changing area, showers and lockers for valuables, and life vests are provided and are compulsory. So yeah, this was a great little stop off. From there we had lunch in a lovely little local place, during which we had some live entertainment of a traditional Mexican dance where bottles of beer are balanced on the head. No, Don't ask me how they managed to keep them balanced without falling over. I have no idea. Lots of practice, I should imagine. We made sure to leave the dancers a generous tip for keeping us entertained whilst we ate. Before we knew it, we had arrived at the highlight of the day. Chichen Itza and its most famous and most awe-inspiring monument emerged on the horizon. There it was, standing tall and proud against the backdrop of history. We had found the legendary El Callisto. Built with 9 platforms, the structure features 365 steps that represent the days of the year, with the 4 sides of the temple representing the 4 seasons. During the spring and summer, the sun casts a shadow that creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down the steps, a sight that continues to draw many, many visitors to the site each year. Today, it is one of the most visited archaeological sites in Mexico, with over 2.6 million tourists alone in the year 2017. Not only that, but you'll probably see a lot of people clapping right in front of the temple. Now, the reason for this is because you'll hear a sound being echoed back that is identical to the cry of the Quetzal, a Central American bird that ancient Mayan people believed was a messenger of the gods. So, in other words, they believed that their gods were communicating back to them. Or perhaps that it was the giant aforementioned serpent itself speaking back to them. Either way, the temple continues to be a place of mystery even to this day. As recently as 2015, scientists determined that there's actually a cenote hidden underneath the temple, which has never been seen by archaeologists. El Callisto is the main attraction here, there's no doubt of that, but the other structures surrounding it are also definitely worth a look as well. Indeed, the image of the serpent slithering around can be seen in some of the other structures around Chichen Itza, so the influence of this mythical creature can definitely be felt throughout the rest of the surrounding areas. The ball court is where the game called Juego de Pelota would have been played. Now, we saw this game being demonstrated during the Espectacular show at Xcaret, Mexico. The game has some similarities to the modern game of basketball, in which you need to hit a ball through a hoop to score points. But they hit the ball with their hips, or with their elbows, with their head, with their feet. But unlike basketball, there are some pretty high stakes in these games, and it's likely that human sacrifices might have taken place here. The skull platform is believed to have been used to display the skulls of these sacrificial victims, warriors, and even defeated ball game players. So yeah, make sure you win the game, okay? Although having said that, you might not want to. A lot of historians actually believe that it would in fact be the winners that would actually get their heads chopped off. Now, this seems like an odd way to reward the winning team, but Mayans believed that being sacrificed in this way was a direct route to the kingdom of heaven. The skulls carved into the side are a reminder of the Mayan belief in the circle of life and the spiritual importance that sacrifice plays in this ancient civilization. Either way, it's safe to say that if these walls could talk, they would be telling many grisly tales of the games that were played there. A lot of people come here to party it up, but that's not what we're planning on doing today. We're going shopping to get some presents for our friends and family back home. So if you are in search of lucha libre masks, massive sombreros, corny t-shirts, fridge magnets and gift packs of shot glasses and cheap tequila, well, then you're in luck. Fifth Avenue tends to be broken up and referred to as Lower Fifth Avenue and Upper Fifth Avenue, mainly because it tends to be more commercialised and elegant on the upper end, whilst it's a little cheaper, cheesier and touristy lower down. So in other words, if you start on Lower Fifth Avenue, you'll gradually see it becoming a little nicer and a little more expensive and upmarket as you go up. One thing you will see at the lower end of Fifth Avenue is that the shopkeepers will have their little tricks to try and get you into their shops. One of which is to see if you're wearing a wristband from the hotel you're staying at. So, for example, they'll come up to you and say, "Oh, hello, I was your waiter at the hotel last night. Do you recognise me? It's my day off. Come into my shop, come into my shop." It's just a ploy to try and get you into their shop to try and sell you something. Just politely decline and carry on walking. Here on 14th Street, we popped into Iceland Tequila to do some shopping and to look around their Tequila Museum. There are a few stores like this, but we really liked this one because of all the different various tequila displays and these skeleton figures with the sombreros. It really did feel like an actual museum for tequila, and it's a great place for photo opportunities as well. We did end up going into Playa Del Carmen's Hard Rock Cafe, which is part clothing shop, part restaurant, part mini rock music museum. And whilst we were enjoying our food, we also enjoyed looking at the amount of signed musical instruments and clothing that was donated to the cafe by the likes of Bon Jovi, No Doubt, Marilyn Manson, Sheryl Crow and David Lee Roth, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins and Kid Rock. Although, I think that if I was REM, I'd be a little bit annoyed that the items I donated were displayed opposite the men's toilets. Oh well. This elegant bronze sculpture of a man and woman clasping hands as their bodies form a 52.5 foot high arch is named Portal Maya. This public artwork by Arturo Tavares is located at Parque Los Fundadores, the Founding Fathers Park, which faces the sea and the beach area. It is a tribute to the Mayan communities that dotted the Yucatan Peninsula before the Spaniards arrived in the 16th century. You might recognise the rings on this statue from the previous two videos in this series, as these represent the traditional ones found on the ball courts at Mayan archaeological sites. There is also actually a statue as you come into Fifth Avenue that represents the game in question being played. Etched on the Portal Maya statue is the date December 21st, 2012. This marks the end of the 5,126-year Mesoamerican long count calendar developed by the Mayans, which for years people thought that the ending of this calendar represented the end of the world as we know it. Thankfully they were wrong then, otherwise I wouldn't be here now telling you all this. And that was Mabbers in Mexico. We have had an amazing time here, and I hope that some of that enjoyment has come through on these videos for you as well. If you have enjoyed our short video series of our time in Mexico, then do also check out the series that we made from our holiday last year in Morocco. And yes, it's called Mabbers in Morocco. Oh dear, am I in danger of restricting myself to only going to foreign countries beginning with the letter M now? Oh dear. If you do come to Playa del Carmen, then do be sure to check out some of these places that we've been to on this series. If you have already been to Playa del Carmen before and can think of somewhere that we haven't been to, do be sure to leave your suggestions in the comments section and we'll be sure to check them out the next time we come to Mexico. So in conclusion, thank you for watching this video and indeed this series. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll see you all again next time. Adios, mis amigos.